do you want to say something? No?
I'm excited for the art gallery auction house tomorrow. There's 2 people who have pieces on Mintbase that are going to be up for auction.
Super nice. Okay, so you're done? You're filming? Perfect. Okay, so now we can start. So today we're meeting to talk about how DAOs can interact with Mintbase, with the Mintbase protocol. And to do that, we have 2 various guests. On one side, you have Jordan, who works at Near Labs and is focusing a lot on AstroDAO at the moment. And we also have Luis, who is microchipgnu, who is the product lead at Mintbase, and he's a developer. And he's also part of a DAO, and his DAO is the VR DAO. He will be talking about the DAO soon. And he has this virtual reality project called 3XR that is built on the Mintbase protocol. So it's also a very nice thing. We have it integrated in our platform. If you know Mintbase, maybe you have experimented. Me, I'm Maria. Nice to meet you guys. I'm the community manager of Mintbase, and I'm a facilitator of the Createbase DAO and Guild. Exactly. So my plan today is to talk a little bit about Mintbase, talk about a little bit about the DAOs on Near and how both of these entities kind of interact. Exactly. So let's begin talking about Mintbase. I want to give you a little pitch of what Mintbase is, and show you around maybe a bit here on the. I need to share my screen. A minute, how does it work on the app? Entire screen? Yeah, let's do the entire screen, why not? Okay, can you see my screen? No, it's not working. Open system preferences. I'm using a new laptop, so this is all a little bit hard, I don't know. Let's see if it works now. So, can you see?
I don't see your screen.
No.
I can see it.
Can?
Yep.
Oh, I had to click watch stream.
So this is actually Regina's laptop, so that's why you can see Regina logged in here on Mintbase. It's my colleague, she does community with me. So I want to talk a bit about Mintbase and what Mintbase offers you. It's not only a platform, it's also a protocol that allows you to deploy your own store, as you see here. And what is nice about this is that you own your own marketplace, that you can add and remove minters, and that you can install default royalties and revenues to your store. So for example, I'm just going to go with Regina's profile here. She owns this smart contract that is called Regina Mintbase, and you have some settings that you can do. You can set default royalties and whatever wallet you are interested in, and you can set them here. So it's really easy to add minters and to remove minters, and that makes the whole thing very interesting because you end up setting up your own marketplace. Mintbase used to be on Ethereum, as you can see here, but we have not because the fee is high, and we are just focusing on real life spaces for NFT technology. And for people to be able to use it, it's important that the fees are low and stay low, and that's why a sharded and proof of stake blockchain is the best way to go. Exactly. And what else is very interesting on Mintbase is that when you mint, you can add up to 25 people in your royalties and 25 people in your revenues. Also is that you have this the default ones I was showing before, showing already, and you can't change them. So these sets of functions are very good for like communities or DAOs. And yeah, I don't know. I'm very happy to have Luis here, actually, because he's one of the developers and actually the product lead of Mintbase. So I would like to know if I forgot to mention something that you would like to add or anything like that.
Yeah. So hi, everyone. My name is Luis. I think Maria presented me very well. Thank you. No, I think you did great. You mentioned a lot of stuff. It's good to mention that. Yeah. Mintbase is not just an NFT marketplace, and while we have like this main application where people can easily mint and sell and do all these different kinds of things with NFTs, we're now trying to make it more accessible for developers, and we're pushing hard on building these tools like front-end software development kits, having our testnet and mainnet available with our index database, running the indexer, having services to upload data to Arweave that we cover, that we covered for now, and yeah, that's kind of the tooling I think anyone building with NFTs today need to have. So I think we kind of cover most things right now.
I really like this, that our tokens are all stored on Arweave. Do you want to talk some about this too, maybe?
I mean, yeah, sure. So Arweave, I think most people are probably familiar with Arweave here. If not, it's just a blockchain that sort of uploads that stores files, and all the files you upload have a transaction associated with it. So you kind of have a different sort of way to see when a file was added, and not on like IPFS where anyone can like pin your file and it gets distributed across like this distributed network. So yeah, I think Arweave is a bit of superior system to IPFS alone. Filecoin is, well, it's somewhat similar. So yeah, we're important, but to mention too that Mintbase isn't like I think we and now we're having more and more requests for specific features, specific things people want. I don't think we can do it, mostly because we want others to do it, to find their niche market, to find their niche needs, and like if you have that, we provide the tooling for you to build that. So I think while we provide the most basic features, and we will continue on improve on that, and we will keep improving this main app. I think the goal for the future is to find other developers to find niche needs and build on that.
So what I'm showing right now here in this screen is exactly the part of Mintbase that is destined to the developers. So would you like to say some words about the Mint Graph indexer or Mintbase.js, for example? So what people can do if they want to really use our code and build on it. As I'm not a tech person, I'm not so much into it. So I would love to learn from you too.
Sure. So there are two things. We run our indexer. I think during NearCon 2 weeks ago, it was presented that the graph is coming. So soon, I think most like developers will also be able to index the data how they wish and prefer. We are running our indexer for about 10 months now. So all the data on testnet is indexed and is accessible via GraphQL queries, which is very suitable for, if you want to, just query some specific things. It's flexible enough for you to find your need, to fulfill your needs with our APIs. Mintbase.js is essentially this wrapper around like contract calls. So we cover all the smart contract calls you can do. Mint store, upload things to everything is covered on Mintbase.js right now.
Super nice.
And also there's you have the fourth square which says create Mintbase app. If you don't want to start, like if you want to bootstrap like a starter project, this project has like one plugin already implemented and a bunch of other things like the meter, a couple of examples. So it's also a very good starting point for you to build a front-end app on top of Mintbase.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what makes me excited about Mintbase. Don't really want people to be obliged to come to Mintbase to see your store. We want you to be able to put it on your site, like on your website, on whatever you want to put it on. And that's a thing I think is really cool. Exactly. So let me stop sharing my screen for a second. The next thing I wanted to talk about was I think DAOs and what DAOs can be and what DAOs are. So I think everybody has a good idea of what a DAO is, but it's a decentralized autonomous organization, and it has so many functions to it where you can have a communal wallet and people can vote on different actions, for example, to add someone to the council or to give some funding to some project that was done. And it's like, I like to call it radical democracy, because it's all really transparent and open for everybody to see and can just follow up everything that happens on every DAO. And I'm very happy to be here with Jordan and have Jordan talk about DAOs on DAOs on Near and what's happening on that side. So Jordan, if you like to start, I would love it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And let's see, I should share my screen too. Let's do this screen. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about is just how vibrant the DAO ecosystem on Near. There's over 100 active guilds on Near, and over the past year or so, we've seen over $11 million paid out through those DAOs. So it's a very lucrative and vibrant ecosystem to be part of, and there's DAOs for about everything. If we go to nearguilds.com, you can see the wide variety of things that are being done by guilds. There's guilds for games, there's guilds for skills, there's many art guilds. And what there's DAOs that are offering help with development. There's DAOs that are offering help with legal advice, with design, like that. Just speaking with some folks for specifically about tokenomics advice and helping people figure out their tokenomics and revenue flows, things like that. So the short of it is, if you're looking to learn any kind, there's support in the Near ecosystem to get that done through the DAOs, and it's a very collaborative and supportive ecosystem. So how does all that happen? Well, it happens at AstroDAO. AstroDAO is the new interface for DAOs on Near, and this was launched less than a month ago officially. And what this does, take all of the power of the Sputnik DAO smart contracts and wraps it up in a nice UI that allows everyday users to take advantage of all of the things that DAOs can do on Near. And what DAOs can do on Near is anything that a user can do. So because of the account system on Near being really flexible, every DAO that exists actually is a Near wallet and can do exactly what users can do. So with Astro, you can do like custom function calls. Actually, that's a feature that's coming. But the Sputnik contracts allow for it to happen. And what mostly happens is payouts, and then also a big feature that's new is the bounties. And what the bounties do is we're on testnet, so there's none, but it will be a fee of all of the work that you can do and get paid for in the Near ecosystem. So across all of those hundreds of DAOs, they can publish work that they have open, and then anybody can hop on and contribute. And it's kind of like a giant gig board for the whole ecosystem. And let's see, I guess I could very quickly go through the process of creating a DAO, because this is something that a lot of people ask about as they're getting started, is like, how do I actually make a DAO? And I always encourage people to go to test first, just to go through the steps themselves. And if you're coming from like a V1 Sputnik DAO, the easiest thing to do is just select Foundation and leave all of the defaults as they are. And that will give you a DAO that's just like a V1 Sputnik DAO. Display name, Mintbase, call, purpose, demoing, and you can add links like to your Telegram or to your Discord. When you select a flag, you can change what colors it is and select a flag. After you've gone through those steps, you can launch the DAO. So the process itself is pretty straightforward, and mechanically it's very quick. And what most people I speak with who are starting DAOs have more questions about and spend a longer time on is really like the purpose of the DAO, and as I was saying, the tokenomics models or their revenue flows, how they're going to be self-sustaining, things like that. Those kinds of questions usually take up more time than the actual like mechanical part of creating a DAO. And then to touch briefly, I've been saying like Sputnik and Astro kind of like interchangeably. Sputnik is basically the smart contracts that are under the hood for all of this. So generally when we're talking about Sputnik, it's more for developers. So if you're somebody who's into command line, likes creating your own tools, wants to get in there and make pull requests, check out Sputnik smart contracts. And the Sputnik Twitter is mostly for developers. If you go on github.com/neardaos, we've got the smart contracts right here, and then also the Astro UI is there if you want to contribute to that. And there's also the API gateway. It's not a full indexer like Mintbase has going, but it does give you easy access to DAO relevant data. If you're just looking to build a tool that does some data visualization or pulls information about DAOs, this gateway may be interesting to you. And then I wanted to share two opportunities that are going on top of Astro right now. There's the Community Choice Awards. So this is, it's exactly what it sounds like, Community Choice Awards. By joining this DAO and putting in your favorite NFTs, memes, tokens, and nominating your favorite DAOs and dApps, you can win a prize, one of these cool near misfits, or some swag from Swagger DAO. So I encourage everybody to jump in, join this DAO, and put in your favorite choices from the community for all these different categories. And then additionally, currently we're running the DAO Cubator, which is an incubator to DAOs get started. So a lot of the times when DAOs are just getting started, they need some time to find their feet, figure things out. And we also want to compensate people for the time that it takes to go through the process of doing all the planning and getting a DAO set up. So to help with that, we've got this DAO Cubator, which you can apply for a grant. You can also get mentorship and figure out, get help with all those things like tokenomics and what your plan is as a DAO and what DAOs you should be aligning with and allying with. And how to configure your DAO, all of those things. So we've got 100K available, and if you're starting a DAO, reach out to us and we'll help you get started. So I think that's pretty much what I wanted to go through.
Yeah, I have just a small question because, for example, the Createbase DAO is still on Sputnik, right? Sputnik V1. And my question was how or so the custom function,
custom function calls.
Exactly. Thank you so much. The custom function calls, they are to be implemented on AstroDAO at the moment, right? And on Sputnik, they do exist on the V2, exactly, on this one.
Yes.
And
so
how does this kind of what is that? How does this? Why does it look so different from the V1? It's just a question I have.
Yeah. So basically, this view into the Sputnik smart contracts is into the V2 Sputnik contracts, and it's looking at exactly the same thing as Astro. So even though the visuals are totally different, under the hood, they're both looking at the V2 Sputnik contracts, which allow for, custom function calls, the flexible governance, all the good stuff, upgradability, all that. So if you do find like the Createbase, is it?
I think it's not yet on there.
Okay.
On the.
Okay, you can. That's right, because there might be a rebrand.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can use like Kodame as an example, and when we look at this here, all of the same proposals here will be in Astro. If we go to Astro and wait for it to load.
I think you need to put a change to Kodame, right? Because it's Mintbase. Yeah, exactly. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, there we go. So if we look here and look at the all of the same proposals exist between these two, where we changed to 49% and gave some near for setting up a bunch of Mintbase stores.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. So it's two views into the same thing, and then so why would we want this? Basically, this v2.sputnik.fund interface, like I said, Sputnik is more for the developers. If you're developing something, it's easier to just like make a proof of concept using this interface, and then once you've proved that something works, can figure out how to like work it into the Astro interface, the Astro UI. However, if you're like used to contributing to Astro, you could also just go directly into the Astro code. All of it is available in open source on the repository. But for example, as a user right now, custom function calls are only available on this version. So if you wanted to do a custom function call, you would do it on the Sputnik v2 interface, and then you could still approve it on Astro, or you could approve it back on v2. But it's all looking at the same smart contracts.
Okay, cool. That makes sense, and it answers my question really well. Thank you for that. So the next thing I was thinking about doing was to talk about, let Louis talk about like microchipgnu. Let him talk about how we can integrate the Mintbase protocol with the AstroDAO or Sputnik v2 protocol. So how can we make DAOs use Mintbase? What can DAO do on Mintbase? Possible for DAOs to open their own smart contract, aka store? Is it possible for DAOs to mint, to add or minters from the smart? Like, what are the possibilities and how does this go? Luis, would you please give us a little insight on that?
So, well, I think you've covered a bunch of use cases for DAOs and Mintbase. There's some ongoing discussion right now. We're thinking if like Mintbase has supports or not like integration with DAOs. I think that's one of the things we're thinking now, like interacting directly with, the Sputnik protocol via, Mintbase.js. We're thinking about that. But what you can do with the Sputnik protocol is pretty much everything you could do like with any other interface, right? I think the key difference is, well, the DAO decides if the proposal goes through and then interacts with some contract, with literally what Jordan was saying about like custom function calls. That's one of the things that excite me a lot, other than like obviously the other features of DAOs and AstroDAO and Sputnik. But one of the things I'm really excited for is the flexibility of custom function calls, and via that you can do pretty much anything you could do on Mintbase or with Mintbase SDK or even with the Mintbase smart contract. That's that's my answer. I think you're muted.
Thank you. So, for example, if I set up a DAO, then I would go on this, because still not possible on AstroDAO, right? So we would go on this page that Jordan was showing, the v2 sputnik.fun, and then we would type in some custom function calls, right? And I would could you maybe show us how this would work? Or how you would do that, because for me, I don't know how the rest of the people here feel. I never did it before, so I would like to have a little demonstration if it was possible. Maybe you can talk because as I know, because we're close in the same office, I know you have 3XR project and the VR DAO, so maybe you can just use that use case to demonstrate on testnet or mainnet as you wish. Please.
Yeah. So I'm now on testnet v2. Thank you, Maria, for pushing this. I was kind of frustrated for the past few days because I couldn't access it was down, but now it's up and it's so good because now we can just go here. Let's say I just selected a random tests DAO, and what you could do is.
Oh, sorry, we are seeing it. I haven't clicked it. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. So on Sputnik v2, you have this custom function thing where you can select, and then the receiver contract, and this is your Mintbase store. So at first you need to, maybe I can actually go through everything here.
Yeah, that would be nice. The full tour.
Yeah, the full tour. Maybe. Okay. So let's say, what can we do? Create. So let's say you want. Maybe I can do this with a real DAO I'm connected to. So I connected recently this one. It's a fun story. I'll go through later on this call. But basically, meta build hackathon gave me a bunch of ideas, and now I'm connected. I'm working with this individual that participated in meta build, and we're going through a lot of these experiments. It's kind of interesting, but I'll go through that later. Let me check. Where is it? Okay, it's here. This one. So let's say you want to add a new proposal, and you go here. You select a custom function. And then we have, let's say, a store, this one store, which the address is, first I need to add this store as a minter. Sorry, this DAO as a minter, and this DAO address is vrchallenge sputnik v2.testnet. I'm going to add this as a minter. Okay, it's going through. Hello. And now it should be yes, it's a minter. And now I can create a custom function, a custom function proposal to mint a token on this store, right? So let me go to the store again, and I'll just fake this mint just for the sake of this experiment. So.
But this is on testnet, right?
Yeah, this is all testnet, yes.
Okay.
So testing
Because
proposal.
we have a small surprise for people who are staying until the end. So if I was you, I would stay until the end to get a little surprise.
Cute.
All right. So yeah, this is just the testing proposal, Mint. So right now I clicked the Mint because I want the arguments it produced, right? So JSON object, or this object, I will paste it in. So it's here. This is like the what's gonna mint. And then I should, let me deny this. Copy again the testnet for test mint. The method name, I forgot, but I think it's NFT batch mint. Yes, NFT batch mint, and I need to deposit in here. It's the bond.
And where can I find the method names if I don't know where they're at?
Yeah, it was on the more information I just didn't show, but yeah, it's there, like right above the JSON. It's there's the argument. It's calling. The method name is calling. So I'm submitting this now. After I submit this, there's this new proposal. I can even show that. Yes, I can show this here. So it's here on AstroDAO, as Jordan was showing. And if I accept this, it will mint an NFT, right, on my store. So the store now has just 3 NFTs. I'll go through this very quickly. And it's done. Take a bit to index, but yep, it's indexing now. The information should be up very soon.
Okay, so you basically just minted an NFT through the DAO?
A DAO, yes.
So this is for me really exciting. I really like that. So what can you do? You can mint NFTs.
Let me refresh the page.
What else can we do?
Well, I think this is still indexing.
Yeah,
the internet is also not so great. All right, yeah. You can do pretty much everything. So adding minters, let's say your DAO controls your store. There's no minter on your store, so the DAO deployed a Mintbase store. And that's the thing I would like to discuss later, because that's one of the features I think Sputnik is missing. But so let's say you have your DAO as the minter, then the DAO can mint tokens, right? So people can propose to your DAO to mint a few things, like mint things on the DAO store. That's one of the things. Removing minters, if you know, like you have the DAO as the owner, you could also like say, all right, this person isn't behaving well, like let's propose to remove it, or you know, like it's minting things that we don't want to show in our store, that kind of stuff. And yeah, so any other, yeah, sorry.
No, sorry that I'm just talking, but this is super nice because you basically will be giving up like all the power, like this. It will be a completely decentralized store or marketplace that will be managed by the whole council of the DAO to be talked about. I think this is a very, very nice feature, and I wish more people knew about it. So this is actually why we are doing this call. And yeah, it's super cool. Does somebody have any question about something we just said, or is it all clear? This is the moment where you can unmute and talk, or if you want to write it in the chat too, I would read it. Exactly. So we just learned about Mintbase. We learned about DAOs. So there is a question actually at the moment from Tommy, and he's asking something that I don't understand. For example, maybe Luis can help me. You need to stop sharing your screen, Luis. It's are there multi IGs on Near for DAOs? I think maybe this is a question for Jordan. Yeah.
So Usually multi-sigs are used for multiple people signing a message, and it's more of a fundamental building block. And with DAOs, it's basically a replacement for multi-sigs. Multi-sigs do exist on Near,
Yep.
but but there's not a lot of reason to use them when you do have the power of a DAO. And more for governance and well, the DAOs can be used for governance and treasury and all of the things that a multi-sig would be used for as well. So if we look at like one of the DAOs, like there's treasuries for these DAOs, and it shows your fungible tokens as well as your non-fungible tokens. And it'll even show your NFTs if you've collected any NFTs. And then you can also get into the different groups that you form. So you can have custom groups and voting rules, and then also like set up the different governance policies as far as like how much it costs to submit a proposal, the bond, and what voting percentages are required to pass things. So anything that you would do with a multi-sig, I think you'll find that you can do it with the DAO tooling on Near, especially with like the Sputnik V2 smart contracts and.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jordan. You want to say something? Anybody wants to say something and I'm interrupting?
Yeah,
or
I want no, you're not interrupting, but I want to say something. So all of this initiated because of Chloe that is on the call. I just noticed. And yeah, all of this idea about like having DAOs, minting things, selling things, it was all Chloe. She pinged me about this. I got like mind blown and then like started investigating more. So yeah, props Chloe for all of this. I think that was super great.
Yeah, thanks, Chloe. It's so nice to have you around. Very very enriching always. So Tabir actually asked in another channel if you can use the function call to mint, do you or the council of the DAO have any chance to see the image that was proposed to be minted? Because how will you vote on something if you don't image, right? So is this somehow possible? If you insert that code somewhere, is it somehow possible or not yet?
Where are you seeing this question? Sorry.
I just copied it into the community call chat. But it's
if
also
this function call to mint.
Yeah, I think so. The link is inside of the JSON. So if you're JSON savvy, then you can see the image link and go and look at that in your web browser. But there's not a clean and easy interface on Astro or the V2 interface that will allow you to see specifically what you're being asked to mint. And we're looking at how to look at the custom function calls and find a generic way of displaying those, since there's so much variety in the different calls that are going to be made.
Yep.
That it's not easy to have a generic interface for them. But that's what we're working at AstroDAO, is like, how can we do that? So that's like the gnarly problem that we're chewing on right now.
Yep. Yeah, even like NFT Mint is not a standard method on the NFT standard, so it's kind of hard to like expect something, right? If it's like an NFT transfer, maybe you could do that. You could expect and like find more information about that is being transferred, but like NFT Mint is very specific to different contracts. Eris has a different way, in Mintbase, yeah, all different ways of minting. So yeah, that's the issue I see.
There is another question, and for responding, as always, can you mint as hidden, like anonymously? Is it possible to mint hidden?
mint is hidden. I'm not sure what that means exactly. Like private transaction? I don't think so. No. I mean, all transactions are public.
Everything is public, right? We're very Near is pretty transparent. Yeah, I think the way for you to be anonymous is for you to have to create a wallet that is not linked to you, but then you won't be part of DAO to vote probably. So it's kind of, yeah, that's how I understand it. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
to do like a hidden listing or to not reveal what the graphic is, you could point the graphic URL at an asset somewhere where you control that graphic, and then you could have like a coming soon graphic, and then on the release date you could put the actual graphic up, and then it would show the NFT. So that's maybe another interpretation of hidden.
Yes.
Yeah, that's super. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please go. I was just talking because I thought nobody was. Please go.
Yeah, no, it's just my brain hates to go that route because like when we start adding like centralized things and we cannot, where people can control like if the resource is available, but like I think we should, but it's just my opinion. Yeah, but I agree with Jordan. That's the way to go if that was the goal.
Yeah, and also everything you mint on Mintbase will not be shown until listed for sale, right? So actually everything you mint is hidden at first, and the DAO would be able to see it through the DAO account, actually. And I have another question. I don't know, probably some other person has the same question. So how do you log into Mintbase as a DAO? Is this even, how does that work? I don't know how this works.
Yeah, that's not possible. I mean, DAOs, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know everything, but I think it don't have wallets like general accounts do, unless I'm completely wrong here. But for that, you would probably need some sort of private key for the DAO, which I'm sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, I don't think you hold keys for the Sputnik deployed DAOs.
No.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
So Tabir is asking, wouldn't that work with the Astro wallet address? I think the Astro wallet address does not have a key. That's what they were saying. And that's why you can't kind of log into the DAO wallet. So that would be the hard part, to log into Mintbase through the wallet. Yeah. But I had the same question.
Because
I feel like there must be a way for that to happen, but I haven't looked into mechanically how that would work.
Yeah. Okay, guys, is there any more questions of the public? If not, I would start with the questions that I wrote down here in my little paper.
This
is Jazer, Luis. Just on what we were talking, when we actually call a custom function from the AstroDAO, is it not something loosely similar to logging in and then doing something? Like when you're logged in and you're essentially calling a function from the UI, or am I getting something wrong about the custom function?
I think the custom function is just basically like a proposal that needs certain votes to pass, right? And once passed, it will call the underlying function.
But it essentially it invokes a function in the store smart contract which is deployed, right? The mint function, to be specific.
Yeah. So the per address thing, if you're allowed to mint or not, and it doesn't really look at your state if you're logged in or not. It's just is this address allowed to mint?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
I really like how these talks are coming together. So if anyone else has something to say, I would love to hear. If not, I will just shoot maybe my first question, but I think somebody was starting to talk. Is it? No? No. Okay, so maybe I will ask Jordan, which DAOs or things in the near ecosystem you're most excited about at the moment that are making you most excited, anxious is the wrong word, but what you like to see, what's happening, what's something that you're thinking is cool.
Yeah, Createbase is always exciting. I love seeing the creative energy around Createbase, and that's how I got sucked into all this. So definitely Createbase is exciting. I love Near-Chan Guild, and all of the artists that are exploring what Near-Chan can look like, and now Marma J, the Marma J Chan is exploding, and it's so cool to see like the relationship between Marma J Chan and Near Chan being illustrated. That's so cool. The Kodame Guild is really exciting. We're working with a new curator and going to be announcing our next theme. And when we have our next theme out, then we'll put out a call for proposals and start putting together our next virtual show and have another round of minting and all that stuff. So definitely keep an eye on the Kodame DAO. Yeah, and then it's been on everybody's mind, the legal guild and the offerings there. I think that there's going to be an article coming out this week with some of their findings from their research the past few months. And yeah, a lot of DAOs have been kind of digging into this question of, want legal standing? Do I need legal standing? Which legal standing should I run with? And I think that that's like a very interesting space and something to keep your eyes on.
Yeah, the whole legal thing is really interesting how this is going to be happening. I'm excited to see that. And for Luis, I have another question. We're talking, you mentioned before. So which features are you missing on AstroDAO for now that would facilitate the integration with Mintbase?
I think not just specifically Mintbase, but one of the things I'm missing now is obviously the information for function or custom function calls on AstroDAO. That's an obvious one. I think Jordan even mentioned that all of that. Then I think this one is fixed. That 300 attached gas. That one was like default 30. I think now they maxed out, so it's good to go. But yeah, that one was one that I was missing. There's one thing I would love to see, that is attaching deposit to a vote. For example, I'm not sure how that would work. For example, because like transferring NFTs, you need to deposit 1 Yocto, right? 1 Yocto near. So I actually tried this yesterday, and I couldn't, approve a transaction for transferring tokens, and that's because I needed to attach some deposit to my vote. So that thing is missing. I'd love to see that on the short term. I'm not sure if it's something implementable in the short term. That's definitely a missing thing for me. And yeah, I would love to see showing NFTs. That's I think there's already a space on the AstroDAO for that, and I'm eager to see what's coming next for that.
Yeah, for the short term on the deposit attachment, there's the Multicall solution, and Chloe has been working on that too. And that's one way of doing it, where the Multicall will allow you to have several calls in series and parallel, and you map out all the calls you want and how much gas and what deposit to put along with each call. And then you get a single function call out of that you can put a proposal to a DAO that will go and execute everything that you've laid out. And we're looking at that as a solution for many things. So maybe transferring NFTs is one short-term use case, but also things like that are more complicated, like launching a token and adopting it as your governance token on a DAO is a multi-step process. So we want to do is have a kind of default template for how that would be called, and allow people to clone that and modify it for their own needs, and then have a single function call that the DAO approves instead of having like 4 or 5 different steps that the DAO has to approve one after another, and have it be like a quite slow process.
Yep.
With a lot of clicks. I would, in the short term, look at the multi-call solution that's happening.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah,
So
totally.
So this kind of already goes in the direction of another question I had prepared for Jordan. So, because I wanted to know what you as a, like, are you the product lead of AstroDAO? I don't know, but what would you want AstroDAO to turn into? What is your personal goal, and or what would you like to see? What's your dream version of AstroDAO? What would you want it to be able to do?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to like see as more and more of the DAOs from V1 come over to V2 and we start seeing the bounty system get busy. I think that that's going to be a really exciting moment when we see that turning on. And then one of the features that I'm really interested in is like composable conversations. So right now in the Near ecosystem, there isn't a solution for just being able to comment on any content, whether that's a DAO proposal or an NFT or a game. And this is something that, like, product-wise, I would love to see is just like composable comments across the Near ecosystem based on Near wallets. And there's like Convo Space and there's Commonwealth IM, and there's a few people that are like starting to poke in this direction, but nothing has landed yet. So that's like the thing I would be most excited about seeing.
Yeah, I think the conversations would be really good. The chat function between your wallets would be very interesting. Even if you want to do redeemable or physical NFTs, it's sometimes a bit hard to get maybe the contact or the address where to send it to, and this would just solve lots of problems. Would be very interesting to have. Yeah, so we get end of our 1 hour weekdays community call. I'm sorry it took so long to have another one. I just started new. I'm very fresh, and I was just trying to get used to the environment before doing this. I still feel very overwhelmed sometimes, but in the best possible way. But maybe, Luis, do you want to give the news of what is our little surprise for the end of the community call?
Yeah. We prepared something. How do you want me to show? Like you should show this, not me.
Yeah, then send me the link on Telegram because I don't have it at the moment. I'm logged into Regina's laptop, so
Oh, you're right. You're right.
But maybe you can show too. I don't care. I can show it too. Just need to send me the link.
Thank you.
Okay. Now let me share my screen. Share the screen. Go. Okay. So, oops. Let me open this. Can you see my screen at the moment?
Yes.
Yes. So this is our amazing 3D NFT that we created as an attendance NFT. So everybody who is here at the moment, please send your Near wallet to the community call chat and be doing these to your wallet, and you will be having one. And this one, it just proves that you were here and that you're interested in how DAOs interact with Mintbase and how that's it. So I think it's cool, and it's designed by our amazing how do you pronounce your name? Like microchipgnu? I'm always confused about how to pronounce it.
I don't know. I've pronounced it so many different ways during YirCon. Microchipgnu, microchipgnu. I don't know. It's all good.
But it's super nice. It moves and it's 3D, and we will be sending it to everybody who is sending the Near names. in the community call chat. So send your names and get your attendance NFT. I think it's the first attendance NFT given out by Mintbase directly. So maybe this can be something very cool in the future. So, Chloe put the one of that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
the future.
Yeah, that's the future. So where will this show up? The NFT of the DAO?
It should show up in the treasury. And if it doesn't, then I'll be opening up an issue on GitHub.
Perfect.
It already shows the treasury on AstroDAO for NFTs, like Mintbase minted NFTs.
It should be, and if it's not, like I said, there will be an issue.
Ooh, nice. Okay, thank you.
Oh, I see there were like some questions that I haven't seen before. Is there a max resolution for images on Mintbase? I think it's 30 megabytes for the actual image and 5 for the cover image. Right?
Say it again?
There was a question, what's the max resolution for images, I guess, on Mintbase?
I'm not sure if there's like a max resolution, but there's a max file size. So the max file size for a cover image is 5 megabytes, and the max on Forever Media is 30 megabytes.
Okay, thank you. So there is another comment. Would be great to have profile pictures and info for DAO wallets on Mintbase. Maybe anyone can upload, but then TX needs to be sent to confirm, and that can be done via V2 custom calls. This is a question from Y0B. Can you see it?
YOB?
Yeah. YOB?
I'm trying to find it. I see.
Scroll up. You scroll.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Yes. I can just, we're thinking about that. Just to know when we're gonna make it to the final app. To the app.
The developers have lots to do. We're actually hiring, Mintbase is hiring someone that lives in Lisbon and codes in JavaScript and Rust. So if you're interested, hit us up or connect us. So here there is another question. Are there tributes and membership proposals on Astro, Jordan? Tributes.
Are there
tributes and membership proposals on Astro?
Membership proposals, definitely.
Yeah.
Tributes, I'm not sure what that refers to, but you can do pay proposals. If you want to send funding to a DAO, you just go directly to its address. So for any DAO, if you look at its it'll have the wallet address for the DAO right there, and you can send funds, NFTs, you can transfer anything to this wallet address that you would do with another address on Near. So maybe that's what a tribute could be.
Then Kiri asked, what about an ambassador program? Would that be, I think probably.
Absolutely. If you're interested in helping us spread the word for DAOs, please do get in touch. Definitely looking for help on that.
So, Kiri, contact starpause, sorry. Okay, then Chloe said, Multicall is great though. We have tested it for swapping FTs on ref and also for distributing FTs to accounts. This took 1 Yocto. Okay, so Kiri wants to help to be an ambassador in the program. And then we only have... no, you already had answered that, Starpause, Jordan. Okay, so I think... Okay, Chloe has pointed out the fact that the Mintbase NFTs are not showing yet. We're working on that. I don't know exactly what the issue is. Maybe Luisha would like to say why they're not showing yet and how we can make them show soon.
Yeah, so there were a couple of things we had to change and work with the Near team. I mean, I'm talking about showing on the wallet, but I think that's probably something very similar to what AstroDAO solution is to like get the NFTs. But yeah, we worked the Near team on event logs. So basically now, whenever there's a mint, there's a transfer, purchase. All of these have standardized events similar to the events in Solidity, and indexers will index this data a lot easier than before. So that's the issue we were having. That's why most NFTs, non-purchased NFTs on Mintbase show on the wallet. That's why.
Okay.
But it's coming. The fix is coming soon. The Near team it's running testnet right now, and we are also updating. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going through the chat. I think people are just chatting more than making questions here. Let me see if I'm missing something. How could someone access if they didn't have a Near wallet? I think for now you need a Near wallet to have your NFT. But something that I didn't mention about Mintbase in the beginning is that you now can use Stripe payment. So you can pay with your credit card for NFTs and they will be stored on your wallet. But this is very cool. Can we set like okay, I think Tommy is just chatting directly with Jordan here. Is there any? I think we're good. Or does anyone still have a question to be answered in the voice or not? If not, we can just continue the chat and just finish recording the call, because if not, it will be a little bit hard for someone who's watching the video on YouTube later to have an idea. I think we're done.
Thanks, Maria.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me and for hosting.
Yeah, but now I'm feeling good about it. I think it was a nice exchange, and I think we have lots of interested people. Next time we will do it on AirMeet probably, because here we only had 25 people and was full the whole time. I'm very surprised and happy about that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
See you soon.
See you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Jordan.
Have a nice day.